Wait, let's set the scene. It's January 7th, 2025. It's 5:00 p.m.
Late afternoon.
Yeah, late afternoon sun, casting those long shadows across this quiet, pretty upscale apartment block in New Cairo. And outside one particular door, Yasmin's mother is sitting there, just sitting. Her nerves are shot, you can imagine. She's fighting this rising sense of panic.
Because her usual routine, the morning visit, breakfast with her daughter Yasmin and son-in-law Heitham.
Never happened.
Yeah.
All day long.
Yeah.
Just this. Profound silence from inside that apartment. Completely unnatural for them.
And that silence is chilling when you know the timeline, right? The mother knew they went into their bedroom around 1 a.m. the night before.
Yeah.
So for them to still be silent, no activity at all, by 5:00 p.m. the next day, I mean, they were early risers, always busy.
Yeah.
It wasn't just unusual, it was screaming that something was terribly wrong.
Yeah.
Catastrophically wrong.
So after hours of this waiting, the dread just became too much. She calls a relative. And when they get there, they make the decision. They break the door down. Just this sudden, violent crash echoing through the building.
Shattering that silence.
And revealing something, well, far worse than anyone could have braced themselves for.
And the scene inside, discovered by the relative, but also tragically witnessed by their 2 kids.
Oh, no.
It was just absolute devastation. Heitham, 43 years old, hanging from the ceiling.
And Yasmin.
Yasmin, 36, on the bed below him, drowned in her own blood. A complete nightmare.
Okay, let's try and unpack this, because when the authorities showed up, they weren't just looking at a crime scene. They were facing the total collapse of something significant.
Exactly. This wasn't, some brief, volatile relationship that imploded. Everyone, neighbors, family, they all said this was a deep 20-year love story.
20 years.
Enduring. So to understand how it ended like this, in such horror, we really have to go back to how it all began.
Let's do that. We start in 2005. Heitham is young, just 23. Ambitious guy, already successful in his way, but...
Yeah. Stuck in a first marriage that made him unhappy. And he wasn't like a traditionalist, right? He didn't want this standard 9 to 5.
No, he had bigger dreams. Commerce, entrepreneurship.
And then he meets Yasmin.
And everything changes. The connection is described as immediate, powerful.
Like genuine, passionate love, the kind that makes you rethink your whole life.
Which he did.
Yeah.
He actually divorced his first wife specifically so he could be with Yasmin. This wasn't just a whim, it was overriding passion.
And what's really interesting is the effort on both sides.
Yeah.
Yasmin had to work to convince her family about Heitham, prove this was serious.
Right.
And Heitham, he stepped up, got them a beautiful apartment in New Cairo. They were building something together, overcoming hurdle.
A shared dream. And for years, they really lived it. Their early life together, happiness, supporting each other. They had their 2 children.
And Heitham hit his other big goal, financial success. He opened this really successful car wash business, made good money.
And people saw it. Neighbors confirmed it. This was seen as a real, true love. 20 years married, but they'd known each other for 31 years.
That solid foundation, that history, that's what makes the breakdown so baffling, so hard to reconcile. How does something seemingly that strong just shatter?
Well, here's where the cracks begin to show. Success sometimes brings, easy money, maybe the wrong crowd. Heitham started using drugs. And it wasn't casual. He quickly fell into a heavy addiction. Ice.
Oh.
Methamphetamine.
And the impact on the relationship was immediate and drastic. Yasmin knew him so well, she saw the signs straight away.
What kind of signs?
Isolation, pulling away, then aggression, getting into fights more often, long periods where he'd just be gone. She knew.
Did she try to intervene?
Oh, absolutely. She fought hard. Tried to save him, save the marriage, save their family, pushed him towards rehab, begged him to stop using.
But there was another layer complicating things, wasn't there? External pressure.
Yeah. Heitham's family, apparently they never fully warmed to Yasmin. There were these vague claims, unsubstantiated, that she was too focused on herself, whatever that means.
And they kept whispering these doubts in his ear.
Constantly sowing distrust. And this is where it becomes a perfect storm. The meth addiction created severe paranoia, but the family's negativity, that provided the storyline for the paranoia. He developed this intense delusion, apparently starting from a weird dream.
That Yasmin was cheating on him.
Exactly. Completely baseless, but utterly real to him in that state.
So he starts acting on it.
Total surveillance, checking her phone, constantly finding nothing, following her, watching her every move. Still nothing, no evidence whatsoever.
But the delusion just sticks. Fueled by the drugs.
It intensified. convinced him of this betrayal that simply wasn't happening.
And this raises that awful question, right? How much can addiction warp reality? Apparently, when he was sober, those rare moments.
He knew it was fantasy. He could see it wasn't real.
But under the influence.
It was absolute truth, his truth, overriding 2 decades of love and trust.
And then it culminates in this incredibly bizarre, incredibly cruel act. He files a lawsuit.
Denying paternity of their own children.
Wait, what? After 20 years, 2 kids they raised together. A paternity suit.
Yeah. Think about the public humiliation, the sheer destructiveness of that accusation.
Was that just the drugs talking, or did the family influence push him to that specific act?
It seems like the terrifying combination, doesn't it? The addiction created the psychosis, but maybe those external voices gave him the script, the justification for that specific attack.
Unbelievable. And for Yasmin?
That was the end. The absolute final straw. The man she loved was gone, consumed. She left, took the kids, and left the house. The marriage was over for her.
But Heitham goes to rehab.
He does. And while he's there, he seems to have this moment of clarity. He sees the wreckage, the scale of the destruction he's caused.
And he wants her back.
Desperately. He starts sending messages, making promises. I'll change. I won't listen to anyone else, the works.
But she's wary. I mean, after the paternity suit, how could she not be?
Exactly. The trust was shattered. The public shame was immense.
So words aren't enough. He escalates. He posts a video.
A very public video. It went viral, apparently, or just raw, apologizing profusely to Yasmin.
What did he say in it?
He took back the heinous accusations against her honor, called her his life's love, admitted point blank, I was sick, I was addicted.
So a full confession and retraction.
Yes. Called her a model wife, apologized to her mother, the kids. It seemed incredibly sincere, but...
There's a but.
Woven into this heartfelt apology were these really chilling threats. He said it multiple times, very clearly.
What did he threaten?
That if Yasmin didn't come back to him, he would kill himself. He'd commit suicide.
Wow. So it's an apology, but it's also emotional blackmail, a threat.
A devastatingly effective one, perhaps, because Yasmin was touched by the apology itself, but the main reason she considered going back.
Good job.
The kids missed their dad terribly, and by all accounts, when he wasn't consumed by the addiction, he was a good father.
So torn between her fear and the hope for her family.
She decided to return, but her mother, quite wisely, remained suspicious. She actually went back with Yasmin, maybe hoping to keep an eye on things, ensure the change was real.
How long did the peace last?
Almost no time at all. Yasmin quickly started suspecting he was using again.
And the fight started up.
Immediately. Loud arguments. Neighbors could hear them again. Often they couldn't even make out the words, just loud, angry noise.
Had it become normalized?
Sadly, yes. The neighbors had gotten used to these loud, unintelligible fights. It was just part of the background noise.
Which brings us back to that night, January 6th, around 1:00 a.m. Heitham and Yasmin go into their room to talk.
The final fight begins, lasts less than 15 minutes.
And then, silence. That profound, unbroken silence that lasted until 5 p.m. the next day.
And from this point on, we have to rely solely on the forensic evidence, what the scene itself told the investigators.
Okay. First thing, please confirm.
No forced entry. Whatever happened entirely inside that apartment between the two of them.
So the only witnesses left are the physical facts, the CSI reports, the medical examiner's findings.
Exactly. And they paint a truly terrifying picture of those final hours.
Let's walk through it. What did the ME determine about Yasmin's death?
Primary cause of death was manual strangulation. It happened while she was on the bed.
Strangled. But that wasn't all, was it? There were other injuries.
Horrific post-mortem injuries. After she was already dead, her throat was slit. She also had multiple stab wounds. The knife was found right there.
Post-mortem. So after he strangled her, and Heitham's state. Toxicology.
Confirmed a massive amount of methamphetamine, ice, in his system around the time of the initial attack.
Which supports the idea that the strangulation, at least, was driven by that drug-fueled psychosis.
It certainly seems that way. But here's the most disturbing forensic finding. The detail that changes everything.
What is?
The time of death analysis. The medical examiner concluded that Heitham died 5 hours after Yasmin.
5 hours. He was alive in that room, with her body, for 5 hours after he killed her.
5 hours. That gap is crucial. It means this wasn't one single continuous act of rage where he killed her and immediately killed himself.
No. He killed her.
Yeah.
And then he waited. or existed for 5 hours.
What must that have been like? Sitting there, the intense meth psychosis may be starting to wear off just enough.
Enough to see what he'd done.
Perhaps. The initial violence, the strangling, the horrific mutilation afterwards that looks like the addict, the delusion running rampant, possibly believing she was somehow still alive or something else entirely irrational.
But the 5 hours that followed.
That must have been the crash. The horrifying clarity, alone in that room, staring at the absolute devastation of the body of his wife. The end of everything.
Confronting the reality that he killed the woman he publicly called his life's love.
Trapped with that knowledge. Haunted by their history, their kids, everything destroyed.
And after those 5 hours of what must have been unbearable clarity.
He fulfilled the threat he made in that video. He ended his own life. Self-strangulation. He used a rope, but also 3 plastic maintenance strips. He made sure it would work.
It's horrifying when you connect all those pieces.
And if you look at the bigger picture here, this tragedy goes beyond just, a domestic dispute gone wrong. It's a stark lesson, isn't it?
In what way?
It shows the deadly combination, severe addiction that completely erodes reality, mixed with the poison of letting those negative outside voices shape your inner world.
The family's influence giving his paranoia a target.
Exactly, giving it a narrative, a twisted justification for the ultimate betrayal.
The community was just stunned, right?
Yeah.
Couldn't reconcile the loving husband they thought they knew with this act.
Completely baffled. But forensically, the sequence of events is clear, which is why, legally, there's no need for a trial. The perpetrator and the victim, they're both gone.
And Yasmin, she went back. She walked back into that apartment trying to save her family, driven by love, by hope.
And walked unknowingly into the final act of his addiction. Her very last decision was motivated by love.
It really makes you think. What kind of thought, what external voice, if you let it grow unchecked, could potentially compromise your own grasp on what's real versus what's delusion? It's a truly chilling place to leave this deep dive.